Okay, so this episode sucked complete ass. Okay, this was not a good episode at all. I didn't get a chance to watch it Sunday night, but I just watched it now, and yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna talk about everything. I'm just gonna talk about what's more important to me. This video is probably gonna be very short, but it is what it is. So let's get into Married to Medicine. We're gonna pick up where we left off last week. Okay, so last week they had this little shindig and Mariah and Heavenly then got into it. So Heavenly reports back to Diddy about the whole back and forth that she had with Mariah. And basically in so many words, Heavenly told Damon that Mariah said that he was fucking off on Heavenly, and he was shocked and fucking confused. Either like he wanted to cry because he, in his words, I ain't never did nothing to Mariah. I've never said nothing bad about her, so I don't know why Mariah is coming at me like that. And even if I got into it with Aiden, I would never bring up the wives. And that's true. I don't even like Heavenly, but at the end of the day, Damon really didn't deserve to be drugged into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because out of all the husbands, I know he never say nothing about nobody, about none of those women. So for Mariah to even go there and bring up this woman's husband when he ain't never really did nothing to her was kind of foul. And we could all say, well, Heavenly does this and Heavenly does that. Please understand, I don't like Heavenly and I don't like motherfucking Mariah. I don't like neither one of these hoes. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And in that instance, Mariah was fucking wrong. She didn't have to bring Damon into this situation, honestly, because honestly, Heavenly is a read within her damn self. So I don't see why she couldn't just read Heavenly and keep it moving. She didn't even have to bring Damon into the whole situation. Do you want me to bring the receipts? And then it's just the fact that everybody was just going up and around for that weak ass strut that Mariah did, walking back and forth about having some motherfucking receipts. I want to know where the motherfucking receipts is, because if you want to bring them out, bring them out. But I still feel like she was wrong for bringing up Damon. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. She was wrong for bringing Damon up. Damon don't never talk about nobody's wife. He's probably the most humble one on there. Honestly, he don't never say nothing about nobody's wife, so I don't know why he was even brought into the equation, honestly. Contessa. Now, this scene was kind of scary because, Layla had got choked on some shit, in that scene, and the fact, and it's not funny, but it's just the fact that Contessa went up there, saved her daughter's life, and started right back cooking breakfast. That was funny, but the whole aspect of her choking and shit wasn't funny. But it's just the fact that, goddamn, like, she just done saved this girl life. Now she already back cooking breakfast like ain't shit happened. Well, go ahead, Supermom. Go right ahead. But in the instance of them having breakfast and they sent them off, her and Scott decided to talk about Contessa's father. Now, Contessa's father is very sick. He's had a substance abuse problem. He's always been in and out of Contessa's life. And at this point, Contessa doesn't have any parents. The only one that she has is him. Her mother is gone, so she don't really have nobody else. And this is the last living grandparent for the kids. And as far as Scott is concerned, he was like, at this point, I'm all for him coming, but you know how I feel about it. He got some making up to do for the kids, and especially for the things that he decided that he was going to do to you as far as leaving you behind and stuff. And, Contessa was like, well, he was sick. And, I just don't see a person deliberately leaving their kids behind. Contessa, I hate to break it to you, but there's a lot of motherfuckers that do that. There are a lot of motherfuckers that do that. Like, from around my way, I see it all the time. Motherfuckers could live down the street from their child and they'll walk right past them like they don't even know them. I had a friend like that. Like, she lived on this same street for years, the same street as her father did. She lived in the house with her mother, and her father lived on that same block. He'll walk up and down that street all day and wouldn't even acknowledge her, and knew she was outside playing with us, but would never acknowledge her, would never stop by. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time she was like, that's my daddy. I'm like, for real? And we were kids. So I never could understand how he could walk down that street almost every day, see his daughter outside, and never just say nothing to her. So some parents do deliberately do that shit. like they would deliberately act like there's no kid, like they ain't got no damn kid. They'll really just be there. They could be in the same city and not even acknowledge the fact that they got kids. And I just think that that's fucked up, it's wild, and stupid as fuck. How could you do that to somebody? It's kind of fucked up, but it is what it is, Contessa. But you know, bring your father along, let your kids get to know him, and just do what it do. So, Quad meets up with the lovely Selena Johnson and Rashawn Ali for Sister Circle. Well, not really for Sister Circle, but just to have drinks and have a good time. You know, because they become really good friends with them filming this show. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. Sister Circle, when I first heard about it being on TV1, of course, I turned my nose up at it because it's on TV1. But I forgot about the classic that was R&B Divas, which Selena Johnson was very much part of. Y'all know that was my girl, for those of you who watch my videos early on. But Sister Circle is actually a good show, and it improves every year. So I like Sister Circle, and I hope they continue. But you know, Quad makes it known that she's loving the company that Selena and Rashad give to her and that they keep, and that she does kind of feel judged by the other women in the medicine circle because, you know, they always have a lot to say. And you know, Quad is just killed. You have also been in that predicament where you've had a lot of opinions on other people's relationship and marriage, and now you're in a hot seat and you don't want to deal with it. And you know, as a human, I don't really blame you for not really wanting to be around people while you're going through stuff like this, because you know, as of right now, I'm dealing with the death in the family, and I was at work all day and didn't want to be around none of them motherfuckers, period. Like, I didn't want nobody talking to me. I didn't feel like joking around. I didn't want to play with nobody like I normally do. I just didn't want to have anything to do with none of them today. But, you know, that's why I understand Quad. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people just don't want to be bothered, and she don't. And she feel like she'll be judged by these women. And when you got the likes of Toya and Heavenly, and how they have such strong opinions about marriage and shit, you don't want to be around them, honestly. And I wouldn't want to be around the bitches either. And, you know, who was that? Damn, I forgot. I lost my train of thought just that fast. But, you know, she talks about Dr. G and how she feels about him being in another room with another woman, and how hurtful that is, and how she never would have thought that, you know, it would have been like that. And, you know, Selena and Rashawn was like, well, you know, we're here for you whenever you need us. We're always here. And Rashawn was like, well, when it come down to it, if you ever get a divorce from Dr. G, let me know about the drinks, because we need to go out when that comes along. And they, you know, they all bust out laughing and have a good little kiki, you know what I'm saying? So Simone and Cecil, you know, Cecil goes, I think it was to the north or the south house is one of them. They got two houses. And, you know, they talk about their therapy sessions and the next up and coming therapy session that they got coming up. And Cecil was like, well, you know, at some point we're going to have to learn how to communicate without the help of a therapist. And that's true. You can only do therapy for so long. And at some point you're going to have to take those lessons, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with certain things in your marriage without the help of a therapist. You're going to have to learn how to communicate better than what y'all are. And I think that they're both hurt, and I think that they're trying to get past everything, but it's just not working right now. And it takes time, you know. Rome wasn't built in a day, so things take time to get past, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But like Simone said, she just want to make sure everything is fixed up before she decides to hop back in the sack with him and ride that deep. That's what she's saying. So it's time for Toya's party. I think I want to say she threw the party for Eugene. I really believe it was for his birthday. That's what I believe. Now, if it wasn't, please leave that below. But I was just so sleep-induced from this damn episode that I forgot about a lot of shit, okay? But Toya annoyed me this entire party. She really did annoy the fuck out of me. And first of all, she vented to them about Contessa. Now, she said that, you know, at the beginning, her Contessa was very cool. And all of a sudden, she started shading her about her party. And that's true because, you know, Contessa was, like, coming on a little bit too strong, talking about Toya party. Then she was trying to comfort her at the reunion. So, I do understand Toya's frustration with her, but as far as her and as far as, you know, especially her frustration about inviting her somewhere and she's not even attending. Like, I hate when I invite somebody somewhere and they don't come, they don't call, they don't text me, they don't let me know. So I do understand that part. I did understand until she did some mark ass shit, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute. So then they talk about Quad not being there. And you know, Jackie told him, you know, as a person that's been through that type of stuff, I don't want to be around people. I don't want to give nobody no chance to say nothing. Like, you know, I don't want to be judged. Like, that's just too much to deal with. And, you know, they act like they don't understand that. But until they go through something like that, then that's when they will fucking understand. So next thing you know, Scott and Toya have a back and forth. And, you know, Toya was like, well, where's Contessa and why isn't she here? Scott was like, well, Contessa couldn't be here because her father that is sick is here and he's there to visit the kids. And Toya was like, well, you know, she could have at least called me. And, you know, Scott was like, well, it's really not that simple. It's basically a hierarchy of what's important to her. I'm like, whoop, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, Dr. Heavenly asked to speak to Contessa, and then Toya got the phone. When I tell you Toya was straight up trash for the way she treated Contessa at that party, her damn father is sick, bruh, and you sitting up here mad because she can come to your weak ass party. You're gonna have a lot of other parties with your raggedy broke ass. You are, bitch. So what the fuck was that all about? You did the absolute most. And this is why I didn't like you for a long time, bitch. You doing the most. You didn't even have to do that. Straight up. And I'm glad that Scott let you know how unimportant you were and how you were wrong for coming for Contessa. You were straight up wrong for that, Toya. And, like, girl, like, you lost a lot of fucking brownie points with me for doing that. Like, that wasn't even necessary. But, whatever. All in all, this episode was very lackluster. I could have done without it. But, other than that, you guys, all my social media is at the bottom. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, till next video, I see you guys later. Bye.